Hey everybody, Coldon here with another VOX Immortalis commentary guide. This video is for Heroic Conclave of Wind in Throne of the Four Winds, and of course this is the 10-man version. So I've slowed this down just slightly to give time to explain things, but the Heroic version of this fight doesn't add a whole lot of new abilities, but the things that it does change or add do significantly alter how you have to do the fight. So I'll just kind of cover those. So the first major thing is going to occur in a second here, and it's an ability from Rohash when he reaches 30 energy or so, called Storm Shield. And this applies an absorption on him for a 150,000 damage absorb. You can see he's casting right there. And while he's absorbing, he will AE everyone on his platform for about 30,000 nature damage per second until that absorb is broken. So of course the key is to have enough DPS and primarily enough burst DPS on this platform at the time to get that shield down. And it's pretty difficult to do any significant healing during that. But if you have any instants or big general heals that you can as a healer, try to utilize those. Also, we have an enhancement shaman, Balance Druid, and myself on this platform primarily. And so the three of us are using Mirror of Broken Images for that Storm Shield. Since it's a 1 minute cooldown, you can use it every cast. And that helps mitigate a lot of the damage from it. And then any personal cooldowns you have will be really useful as well. So you can see there, just before the ultimate, the shaman and myself have gone from Rohash to Nazir to be on Nazir's platform for the ultimate. So this allows our Balance Druid to stay for the ultimate and keep himself healed, since he can cast instant spells during the ultimate. So we have most of the rest of the raid here. We did have one death, unfortunately, there, but we're able to recover. And so we're just healing up the raid as best possible during the ultimate. And any team member that was on Rohash during the or before the ultimate that came over here will probably have some time left on their Slicing Gale debuff. So this is another addition to Heroic. On normal, Rohash will cast Slicing Gale on random people and do damage. But on Heroic, it applies a debuff that lasts 45 seconds. And this will increase the nature damage you take for every stack. So this combination with the Storm Shield can make Storm Shield very dangerous. So the key to this is sort of resetting your stacks as much as possible before you have to burn that Storm Shield down around 30 energy. So that's why the shaman and myself stayed on Nazir for a while our druid stayed over here by himself, so that our Storm Shield, or excuse me, our Slicing Gale stack could drop. The druid has a few stacks just from being over here after the ultimate, but not significant amount. So it's low enough with cooldowns that he can survive. And once that Storm Shield is dropped, since his stack is going to get too high, he actually leaves. And this allows him to reset his Slicing Gale stack before he has to come back to Rohash for the ultimate. So basically around 70 to 80 energy, depending on his timing. He'll tell us that he's coming back, and then the shaman and I go back to Nazir and just repeat this process over and over. So that's pretty much how we decided to handle Rohash. There's a few other ways you can do it. A lot of people just use a solo rogue for the ultimate, and because of Cloak of Shadows and other abilities, they can get rid of their Slicing Gale stack, and so that makes it quite trivial for the rogue to keep himself alive. So you don't really need anyone with actual heal abilities, but whatever works for you. So a couple other abilities that are new to Heroic, really only one actually, is the ads that spawn on Anshal, the little plant guys. They do their normal Toxic Spore AE, but on Heroic the damage is very, very high. High enough that no one can really get hit by the stacks and survive. Whereas on normal you just kind of ignore it. So this changes things pretty dramatically for Anshal. It means you have to figure out a way to CC or kite the ads. And you can use a few forms of CC if you are able to crowd control them such that they are crowd controlled before the AE starts casting, and throughout the cast duration, then they won't actually get any casts off. But that's pretty tough to do. And we found that we had more luck using a kite method. So It just felt more stable. So our Death Knight is Frostspect, and when the Anshal ads spawn, he grabs them all with AE and starts kiting them around the edge of the platform. And this allows our ranged DPS that are over there to stay kind of in the center out of the AE range and DPS them down. So we think we have a Arcane Mage and a Affliction Warlock, I believe, over there. In addition to the Death Knight and a tank and a healer, of course. So they pretty much repeat that process. The idea is to kill the ads before they have to go over to Nazir's platform. And that's really the key. If the ads are alive still when you come back, the kiter can stay there the whole time. It's possible, but it just makes it harder because the positioning can be difficult. So anyway, we're sort of back into our same process. We did the Storm Shield on Rohash here, and once that was broken, our Bounce Druid went over to Nazir, so his Slicing Gale stack would reset. And other things are pretty much just from normal. Still got Wind Blast here. Oh, I should mention the Slicing Gale on Heroic is sort of a cone-based attack. So if you are standing directly behind someone or on top of them, and one of you gets targeted with Slicing Gale, it will apply the debuff to both of you. So it's a good idea if you can to spread out. That said, it's really not that dangerous unless Storm Shield is happening or you have high stacks during the ultimate and you can't heal. So once again, we've gone back just before Nazir's ultimate, and everyone except our Bounce Druid and our tank and healer for Anshal are over here. So this minimizes the damage per second from this ability. And you can see I spend quite a bit of mana on this fight, but it's just because you can kind of tell how much mana you're going to go through, and it's more important to survive the really dangerous things, which are the Nazir ultimate and the Storm Shield, because the rest of the time there's very little to heal if you're the Rohash healer. So just something to keep in mind. And you can see here the Shaman and I are waiting for our stacks to drop again, and we actually bloodlusted after that ultimate there. So the entire raid is now focusing on DPSing down Rohash and Anshal. And we make a couple mistakes here. We sort of forget to use our cooldowns, and I don't have very many hots on our Bounce Druid either. So those combination actually have him die to the Storm Shield, which is a mistake. But this was our first kill, so it still gives you an idea of what we're doing here. And we're able to recover with a res. So, but you can see we got the Storm Shield down, and Anshal's just died, and we're finishing off Rohash. And because our strategy keeps sort of only 1.5 DPS on Rohash most of the time, because our Bounce Druid has to drop his stack, this allows a lot more damage on Nazir than you might expect. So you can see, even though we've screwed up a few times, Nazir's still very low, and we have plenty of time left on Anshal's Gather Strength. So from here, it's just a matter of burning Nazir down like you normally would. And there isn't much risk at this point. So, yeah. It's a pretty crazy fight, kind of annoying. But if you can manage the control of the ads and figure out your rotation to get enough DPS on Storm Shield, you should be fine. So that's it. Good luck. Thanks for watching.